Coming to you live from an undisclosed location deep within the bowels of the Rose City. It's live in Portland. This week, welcome comedy and music with our resident extraterrestrial, Sexy Marvin. Now, here's your host. He's Chris Franklin.
Giving in my all, not trying to fall victim to the system. Systematically meditate to access to wisdom deep inside me. The psychedelic open the door, my soul guides me through this holographic maze unscathed. I'm say grace. This shit resonates with your spiritual. It's a miracle how I kill shit so habitual. I treat it like a ritual. Never weaker for these hoes. FYI, let them know. FYI, gotta show them before I rip. I be taking long trips, but I never pack. Everything I need will be everywhere. I'm home, getting love back. Started business. Spend more time alone, my spirit told me that. So don't take it personal. This much on my and put my shit go timber. Words of a pictures, hieroglyphic scriptures. I'm high as shit, just chillin'. With my biggest tr we flippin' on the this bitch. All legit, sticking to the script, rolling splits. I pray we all get rich, searching for eternal bliss. Hey, Van Gogh, Van Gogh, like the painter, yeah, Van Gogh, Van Gogh. Wow. Hey, woo woo woo, make some noise, make some noise. I am Bryson the Alien. My name is my name. Twitter, Insta, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Internet, yay, whatever. Shout out some aliens. Shout out Chris Franklin. Shout out you. Shout out you right there taking a sip of your drink. Right there, you get turned up. You're not wasting time. Hey. For all my people just getting off of work, you know what I mean? I made this song for you guys. Drop it. Drop it. Yeah. Oh. Goddamn, can't wait. Okay. Been dreaming about that ass all day. I'm about to go berserk. Nothing like sex after work. Off work, about to put in work.
No shit.
The text message read, come over tonight. Come with spell C-U-M, not C-O-M-E. With the kissy face emoji, so I know it's lit. Sending nudie pics, not safe for work type of shit. Anticipation on fleek. I reply, see you later, super free. In all lowercase letters, no emojis. Keep it triple OG, you know me. On my way to get some wine for us to sip. Marvin Gaye, sexual healing, knocking in the whip. Cruising, fantasizing about the acrobatic attribute that you possess. Gold medal finalist, Olympic games and sex. Unanimous decision, my erotic contingents. The positions I envision, are bending and twisting. I need an exorcism, por favor. Greet me naked at the door when I pull up. Goddamn, can't wait. Been dreaming about the ass all day. I'm about to go berserk. Nothing like sex after work. Off work, about to put in work. Overtime. Goddamn, can't wait. Been dreaming about the ass all day. I'm about to go berserk. Nothing like sex after work. Off work, about to put in work. Hey, 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 hey. It's like when you just pull up in the driveway, using the text message, like, open the garage door. I'm here. I am Bryson the Alien. This is Alpha. Shout out some aliens. I love y'all. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, you. Thank you, you right there. And you over there, sound good? Yes. All right, turn up. We're the French fries. Let's get it. Wow.
Hello. Yo, this is Alpha. Alpha on the beat right here. Oh, this one's not on Spotify. I'm about to drop this on Spotify soon, this week.
Welcome to the Elliott Neighborhood's Historic Secret Society for Live in Portland Alumni Showcase. Give a warm hand again to Bryson the Alien. He hails from beyond the stars and way back on episode 22. But first, there was something that happened today amidst all the other chaos that some of you may have found in your feed. Give me a moment here. We lost a great man this morning, Stan the Man Lee of Marvel Comics. I felt it prudent to say some of his words from decades ago, but still, unfortunately, very poignant today. Let's lay it right on the line. Bigotry and racism are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. But unlike a team of costume supervillains, they can't be halted with a punch in the snoot or a zap from a ray gun. The only way to destroy them is to expose them, to reveal them for the insidious evils they really are. The bigot is an unreasoning hater, one who hates blindly, fanatically, indiscriminately. If his hang-up is black men, he hates all black men. If a redhead once offended him, he hates all redheads. If some foreigner beat him to a job, he's down on all foreigners. He hates people he's never seen, people he's never known, with equal intensity and equal venom. Now, we're not trying to say it's unreasonable for one human being to bug another, but although anyone has the right to dislike another individual, it's totally irrational, patently insane to condemn an entire race, to despise an entire nation, to vilify an entire religion. Sooner or later, we must learn to judge each other on our own merits. Sooner or later, if a man is ever to be worthy of his destiny, we must fill our hearts with tolerance, for then, and only then, we will be truly worthy of the concept that man was created in the image of God, a God who calls us all his children. Pax et Justitia, Stan. Wherever you are, we know you're doing well up there, and we look forward to seeing you in the next Avengers film. Coming up next, from way back on episode 19, the McMahon Horn and stand-up stages all over PDX. Please welcome back to the LNP stage comedian Adam Passy. Who may be in the bar. I heard there's this Asgardian who is doing a little bit of his own carpentry. He wound up whacking his thumb with his hammer. They said it was Thor. All right, we're changing the lineup, so please welcome back to the Live in Portland stage from episode 28, the band Butter Baby, and host of Sitting Room Only, Raphael Krasnow.
So I'm not a comedian. That'll work. Sure. Hi. How's everyone doing? That's my set. Thank you. All right, my name is Raphael Krasnow. I'm going to play some songs for y'all. Get this right. There we go. That's better. Took too long for the frost to take hold. The rest of our furniture is gone and sold. You moved on. Spent too many nights in strangers' beds. Watch you change your hair to blonde from red. Stone-faced, I got drunk and I pretended not to care. The city just became too much to bear. It's easy for me to put the blame on you. Did you have to go and take our friends too? Is that what friends do? In hindsight, sure, I made mistakes, got caught up in that game. Got pulled too many ways, but I'm not too blind to see you moved on. You moved on. You moved on. You moved on. Thank you. So I got foot problems here. This pedal doesn't want to be near me. It keeps running away. It's all right. It's okay. I'm so happy to be here, by the way. Y'all are beautiful. The stage is awesome. I have a suit that's like similar to that color, and I almost wore it tonight, and I'm so glad I did not, because between the keyboard, the stage, that, and me, it would just be, it would be hard to focus, I think, so. And this is like the opposite of a suit, so. I got some more songs. Here we go. I thought I had a home, thought I had it all worked out. Orphaned in the cosmos, made me wanna scream out loud. No reason to stay here, no reason not to burn this whole thing down. I gave her my all, forgot to look out for me. I can't fall asleep without dreaming of we lost our way.
Though I tried to save, she never gave a damn. She never gave a damn. And now I'm free. I'm free. I was taken aback by her love. Lost myself again, that time too hard. Same shit every time. Made plans and roadways. Thought I'd always be her star. I gave her my all. Forgot to look out for me. I can't fall asleep without dreaming of we lost our way. Though I tried to save, she never gave a damn. She never gave a damn. Mama told me not to stress it, that this life is way too precious, that someday I'll find someone who respects the gift of my presence. In essence, it's a lesson in love and loss, she said. Deep down I know that I'm better off to have bled. My heart stays wet, shed tears upon her bedspread. Tread lightly since the day we last said goodbye. Freedom to delete our sex tapes off of Google Drive. Last vestiges from past restlessness. I'm the only one impressed with the strength against the recklessness. Wearing my heart upon my clavicle like a billion endless necklaces. Yeah, I gave her my all. Forgot to look out for me. I can't fall asleep without dreaming of we lost our way. Though I tried to save, she never gave a damn. She never gave a damn. Now I'm free. Now I'm free.
Thank you. Anyone see my water? Do you know where I put it? Oh. There's even a table. I've like blacked out. I don't remember doing that. That's great. I got two more for you. So that first one and then this next one are going to be on an EP I'm working on right now. It's my first EP. Very excited about it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I do have a single out on the internet and all that jazz, but this will be my first like cohesive project. I'm very excited for it. So this one's called Steady, and I hope you like it.
Say what it means to me, for me to be here now. Thought I knew my soul, thought that I was whole. Don't know how to say what it means to me, for me to be here now. Thought I knew my soul, thought that I was whole. No, you don't care what people think about the way we look. The day you shook me down, falling from trees, not down on my knees, 'cause begging don't look good on me. God, like I set free. Look deep, it's not easy. A soulmate's a tricky thing. Love branches trickling down, down, down. I'll make time when you're ready. Won't fly, I'll steady for you. I'll make time when you're ready. If you're ready, won't fly, I'll steady for you. Hold steady for you. I've been here before, lived waiting for another light, another trip, another night. Don't care about the past when feelings hit so fast. Caught up in my dumbass mind. Horoscopes are tragic, fucked up like baggage. Starlights and lies behind bright eyes. And tragedies, a self-fulfilling prophecy. I keep on promising. I'll make time when you're ready. If you're ready, oh, won't fly, I'll hold steady for you. I'll make time when you're ready. If you're ready, won't fly, I'll hold steady for you. Hold steady for you.
Thank you. I got one more song for you. All those three are all ones I wrote. And I love writing songs, but I also really love covering songs. And what I like to do is change a little bits of them, maybe add a little verse here or there, with the most respect for the people that write the songs. But I like to add, it's cool. So here's one. I added a couple little verses in here, but you'll probably recognize the song fairly quickly. Here we go.
Used to put too much pressure on how I spoke, how I sang, how I loved the lines that I wrote. Now I look to past lives to evoke a feeling, keep the fire stoked without choking on the smoke. Don't wanna give up on these cigarettes, don't wanna look into the mirror and regret. And when it comes to time, can hang on to what's mine, my lines, my mind, the soaring life high like these birds flying high. You know how I feel. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Too much time trying to impress, energy wasted to undress. Address the best and bless the rest. Confess what's on my chest, and I'll feel better. No more scarlet letter. No tears, no fears, no weary nights without light. No. 'Cause I follow the moon, 'cause she loves me too. It's just me. There's no we, it's just me. So I'm free. I'm fish in the sea. You know how I feel. A river running free. Oh, know how I feel. Blossom on the tree. Oh, you know how I feel. In this old world, it's a cold world and a bold world for me. Feeling good. Oh. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good, so good, so.
Thank you so much. We got a great show coming up after me. Stick around.
Let's hear it again for Raphael Krasnow. And before we go any further, let's hear a warm round of applause for our special guest house musician from Cloud 6, Paul Parisa. You're doing a great job tonight, Paul. Before we introduce our next guest, I wanted to point out a revelation I had earlier that the 90s were probably a very banner time for the Hulk. Only because Hammer Pants were in style, and he could Hulk out without tearing anything and just keep on with his business and keep everything contained. I mean, he had to love that time. But, for things like that, that's why we invite the professionals. Please welcome to the stage, Adam Passy.
Thanks, man. Keep me going for that outfit, but not that joke. Also, one more time for Raphael. That was gorgeous. Yeah. He was funny, too. I didn't like that shit. Stay in your lane, bro. What's up, y'all? My name's Adam. Very happy to be here, partially because I spent the weekend gigging in Yakima. I always hate when I go to a place like Yakima because I get along well with everyone in places like that, and it freaks me out as to who I really am as a person. Got drunk with the bar staff after the show, went to a punk show. That was fun. Because it's all these young kids moshing around. I do my favorite thing I like to do in mosh pits, where I just stand in the center and just stand really still while tiny white children bounce off of me like pinballs. It's my favorite move. We just had Halloween a couple weeks ago. Y'all Halloween folks? Y'all do big parties, costumes? I mean, I know my man over here is into Halloween. Dude, you should have told me. I'd have worn my PJs too. I could have been up here in orange sweats, comfy as hell. I'm not a Halloween person anymore. It's because I've lived in Portland for 20 years, and every fucking day is Halloween in this city. I'm yet to have been on a single TriMet bus where there weren't 3 people wearing kitten ears. couple weeks ago, that weekend where everyone's wearing their costumes downtown, my buddy Seth met me at a bar dressed in full beekeeper regalia. I didn't say shit because he's the second beekeeper I saw that day. And then later on, I went outside. I saw a white girl trying to pull off a blackface Beyonce costume, got in her shit, started calling her a racist. That was a light-skinned black lady. It was a nice lady who did not deserve to be spoken to in that manner. But she let me slide. She's like, nah, but those bitches really are out here. Go get them. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Better ease up on that bronzer. I imagine Austin, Texas has these same Halloween issues. That was the last trip I took. Spent a week in Austin, Texas, where I subsisted on a diet of tacos and accidentally eaten bugs. That's something Texans haven't been forthcoming about. You know, the state of Texas is covered entirely in insects. Like a child on a UNICEF commercial amount of insects. That's what Texas looks like. Whenever you hear about Texas, it's like, nah, cowboys, steer, this is beef country. I saw 12 cows over the week that I was there. I got bit by 450 million mosquitoes. The University of Texas mascot should be a bottle of calamine lotion. That's not to say it was bad. I loved Austin. Austin was amazing for me. I had a magical experience there. 7 days in Austin, Texas. Made me feel prouder to be Mexican than I have at any other point in my entire life, which was wonderful but weird because I'm Samoan. So, not sure exactly when that happened, but I suspect it was a night I was at a bar that had free tacos. My homeboy Louie bought me a bunch of tequila, and next thing I know, I'm Googling the true meaning of Cinco de Mayo with tears in my eyes, screaming out, "Viva la raza!" And I don't know what that means. Please respect my journey, I guess is what I'm trying to say about that. Austin has the same slogan that Portland does. We both say, keep our city weird. Keep Austin weird, keep Portland weird. They started it, and that makes sense because they are the weirder city. Because Austin has all the weirdness of Portland, and it's in Texas. So take all of our idiosyncrasies, throw them in a pot, then add to that stew, motherfucking Texas. It's a strange mix. It's very weird. When I was in Austin, Texas, I went to a Whole Foods that had a gun section. An organic gun section where you can purchase a 12 gauge that shoots buckshot made of flaxseed. I saw one of those big old Ford F-150 trucks, rear window, Calvin peeing sticker, classic. Classic, but this one had Calvin sitting down to pee. Instead of a Chevy logo, he was peeing on Hobbs in a gimp mask. Well, Hobbs was peeing on the words kink shaming. It's a stranger town. You think we're weird? Why? Because we got the Unipiper? A fake Darth Vader on a half a bicycle? You think that makes us strange? When I was in Austin, I saw a man in a Confederate flag hat and shirt ask someone what their preferred pronouns are. That person replied, partner. With a D. Or without the D. Partner is a gender non-specific term. Loved Austin, though. It was nice being on a break from my day job. Right now, I work at a fancy grocery store, which is extra special for me because I got fired from a Winco before I got the job at this store. Got fired from the Winco on 82nd, which is the hardest a Winco can be a Winco without turning into a plasma center. That is the Pokemon evolution of a Winco, by the way. I worked in the deli there, so if you want to know what it's like to work at a deli at a Winco on 82nd and Powell, if you'd have wanted a turkey wrap platter within 6 blocks of a hooker, I was your guy. If you want to crunch your way across a meth pipe-laden parking lot so you watch a black plastic spoon sink into and break the yellowing hardened skin on an overly mayonnaise bow tie pasta salad, mess that one up. I used to be at the other end of that spoon. If you'd have ever wanted ham, yeah, they got ham. They fired me on some racist shit, too, because apparently that Winco takes issue if you're a Samoan man that only shows up for half his scheduled shifts. They had a way better reason they could have fired me, though. One time a dude came into the store, I was working the counter, he asked for 4 breast pieces of fried chicken, and at that moment I discovered I don't know the difference between the breast and thigh piece of fried chicken. All right, I'm feeling judged right now in here. Look, I'm not a veterinarian, okay? This hasn't come up in my life before. Here's how I've been divvying up chicken parts. Wing, drumstick, the big ones. And that was working out just fine till this asshole showed up trying to expose me in front of everybody. Had to think on my feet. Had to be clever about it. I used 2 techniques combined. First of which, just hovering. Just letting my tongs explore the space. Then I put that together with intense eye contact, just staring him down, trying to lock souls with him. Come on, man, give me what I need. 80% of communication is nonverbal. Help me get you this chicken. I'm like a poker player trying to read this man's chicken tells. That sucks I got fired, though. I felt super confident when I was interviewing for that Winco job. A lot of it was because the manager there had way shittier teeth than I do. I don't know if there's any legal precedent for that, but shouldn't I just get the job in that scenario? A job interview is you trying to assess whether or not I am responsible enough to work at a company that made you a manager. And if we're talking proof of responsibility, check the resume, son. I'm doing pretty good over here. I'm missing 2, by the way, still the teeth champion of that job interview. By the way, if that last joke upset anyone, I don't come up here looking to hurt people's feelings. So, like, I know we all come from different struggles, and if you've got dental issues, I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I get your fucking job, too. You clean your locker out after this show, junk mouth. Another reason I felt confident in that job interview is because prior to that, I worked for 10 years as a CNA, nursing assistant. You're not familiar, it's like being a janitor, but for the human body. And all work is hard work. I just didn't feel like after a decade plus spent in nursing homes and hospitals that a Winco had anything that could shake me. And it came up in the interview. He asked me, can you describe the worst day you've ever had at a job and how you dealt with it? I was like, all right, crack a lantern. It's a good thing you're sitting down right now. I'll tell you what, let's do multiple choice. It could be A, the day I had to fight a drug addict off the nurse he was trying to assault. Or B, the dad to sit one-on-one for 16 hours with a lady whose dementia caused her to forget that her husband had died, but then she'd remember it and experience the grief all over again. Or it could be C, the dad to give CPR to a child, and it didn't work. Now that you know all of these things about me, are you left with the impression that I can handle a supermarket level of stress in the workplace? Yeah, homeboy felt the same way, too. He just sat there, jagged-mouthed, quivering behind his desk. And eventually he goes, well, would you be okay learning to use a meat slicer? I was like, yeah, bitch, I think I got meat slicer at this point. I think I'm in a place emotionally where I can step up to using a meat slicer right now. I recently celebrated my 38th birthday. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey. Specifically, I celebrated by getting blackout drunk and making out with a male friend of mine. Which is, don't think that deserves applause. That's not a big deal. It's 2018 in Portland. That's happening right now as we speak. Also, I have all the qualifications to do that at any moment. Because I believe that gender and sexuality are fluid things. In addition to that, I binge drink to the point where it doesn't matter what I believed in the first place. Whatever my beliefs are, they're definitely alcohol soluble. Portland liberal me, conservative Christian me, both those guys kiss the same amount of dudes after 5 shots of whiskey. I'll kiss a dude. That's not a big deal to me at all. Like, I'll kiss a guy if you dare me to, or if I think he's attractive, or if he just had the last bite of something I wanted, I'll make out with a dude. My friend does not feel the same way about this issue, as it turns out. Because I didn't find out about it till 2 days after it happened. He came up to me, pulled me aside, he goes, hey man, just so you know, we kissed on your birthday. And I was just like, tight, thank you. Thank you for the birthday kiss, you're a sweet boy. Then I touched his lips with both fingers like that. And he goes, no, I don't think you understand, we use tongues and everything. And I got pissed, I was like, yeah dude, that's how I kiss. Well, you think I'm just tiptoeing around my own birthday party, pecking dudes on the cheek like a fucking coward? No, I came to play. I'm not a man of half measures. Therein lies the difference. I am down to kiss a male or a female, but I tend to bring different energy to kissing a male. Because when I'm kissing a lady, it's more tender. There's more passion. It's more me searching, trying to see if there's more between us than this physical moment we're sharing right now. And when I'm kissing a dude, I can maybe feel those things, but what I feel every single time is the spirit of competition. If I'm in your mouth, I'm there to win, bro. It's less like a kiss. It's more like we're arm wrestling with our tongues. And I'm Sly from Over the Fucking Top. Is anyone in here old enough to get that reference? That's how I get down. There's a creepy element to this kiss. Something I'm not completely comfortable with. The reason I am close friends with this person is because I've been doing comedy a lot longer than them. And they got close with me by coming to me for advice and help with writing jokes. So we have a mentor-mentee relationship that this kiss is kind of a violation of. There's a bit predatory nature to this drunken kiss. But in addition to that, I think it, at least on my part, makes it a super high-level act of feminism. Okay, too high level for y'all to understand. I will explain then. Feminism is the fight for equality, is it not? And among the goals in that fight is we want less creepy things to happen to women. We're clearly not there yet. So I say, in the meantime, to break things a little even, let's make some creepy shit happen to these dudes out here. A drunken handsy me can be justice if pointed in the right direction. I've seen people storm out of comedy shows because the person on stage said something insensitive regarding sexual assault. And I say, next time, instead of letting that person ruin your night, be more proactive about it by buying me 5 shots of whiskey. And I'll give that boy some perspective. That's a rape joke you just laughed at, just so we can be clear about what happened in this room right now. I have 2 brothers younger than me. They both have children. The youngest one of which is Alex. He has 1 child. Little sweet boy was born last year. He weighed 10.5 pounds when he came out. Because that's what you get when you mess with Samoans. Upon his delivery, the doc said he might have been developing longer than I diagnosed originally. And I said, yeah, what made you think that? Is it the sideburns? My brother Tony has 8 children, because that's also what you get when you mess around with Samoans. I'm just playing. He married a Mormon girl. Married a Mormon lady with semi-automatic reproductive organs, as it turns out. Ain't nobody banning her bump stock. She's firing every year. Rapid reload. I love my nieces and nephews. They are the most important people in my life. I try to be the best uncle I can for them. Sometimes I make mistakes. A couple weeks ago, I went to visit Alex and his heavy baby. I get to the house. He's excited to see me. He raises his arms to be picked up. I get him off the ground. I use my legs. I'm smart about that. When I get him up, I miss him so much. He's my little buddy. I'm giving him hugs and kisses and telling him how much I love him. But then I freaked out because I remember I hadn't washed my face since going down on someone the night before. I got pussy beard on a 9-month-old. I know, by the way. I'm not Are you groaning at me or with me right now? Because one of those is going to piss me off. Because the other one implies that I'm happy about this. You think this isn't a brag. I'm reaching out to you people right now. I'm not happy. What kind of monster do you think I am where I think this is cool? Like I'm just walking up to guys on the street like, hey, bro, guess what I did last night? Smell this baby. That's not who I am. I'm a good uncle. Most of the time. Now I live in constant fear that I'm never going to see my nephew again after I tell my brother what happened. I have to tell my brother what happened because he might have to tell his son what happened. Smell is the strongest sense tied to memory. So what happens if someday my sweet nephew has the opportunity to kiss beneath the covers and he comes up wanting to know why vaginal musk makes him think of his Uncle Adam? It's not... I love the boy. I'm not going to leave him hanging out there without these answers.
Adam Passy. Again, I am Tony Peter Starker. the invincible Spadiron Man. And that's our LNP showcase. Coming up soon, we'll have our regular episode of Live in Portland, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Once again, please put your hands together for Paul Parisa. So we're going to have a little intermission right now. Feel free to visit the bar, visit the restroom, and then get ready for more music, more comedy, and why don't you just play us through to the next segment. Thank you all for coming out. See you soon. Streaming to you live from the historic secret society in the alien neighborhood of the Rose City, it's Live in Portland with Chris Franklin. This week, welcome comedy by Jaron George, musician Jacob Colzer, Cupid Alexander of the Portland Mayor's Office, comedy by Kate Murphy, and music by Jacob Colzer, with guest musician Paul Presa. Now, here's your host. Bitten by a radioactive Buddhist puppy in Forest Park, he has the proportionate charm, enthusiasm, love, and attention span thereof. He's a hero in the streets and screams Excelsior in the sheets. He's the uncanny, astonishing, incredible, invincible, mighty, amazing, spectacular Chris Franklin!
Hell yeah. Give it up one time for Paul Presa, everybody. Joshua Donahue, one of the best announcers we could ever ask for. So incredible. Everybody, this is episode 35 of Live in Portland. We put this together on a shoestring and a dream. Almost 1 year ago, we started in January, and it was my boy Roy. I put out a Facebook comment. I said, hey, I think Portland needs a late night talk show. My boy Roy's like, yo, I got the tech for that. I was like, yo, I got the space for that. And almost a year later, this is what we've come to, and we've shown hundreds of guests, musical acts, comedic entertainers, and interviews that would just blow your mind. And it's all coming to a close the first season. We're gonna close out the first season in December, and I feel so fulfilled. I know as an artist, a lot of the times when you're on stage, the preparation goes unseen. We put our skin out on the line. We'll go down to the very last cut to see our dreams fulfilled. And all the entertainers who have been on our stage have exemplified that. They've put it all out on the line. And when you put it all out on the line, you know that you could lose it all. You could get ridicule. You could get resentment. But regardless of all that, we decide each and every time that we're going to show our best. We're going to get out of our comfort zone and be here on our stage with the audience, with ourselves, with our souls, our honesty. Takes deep anchors. In times, you've really got to know yourself. And so when each and every performer comes on this stage, I want you to give your all because I know they are giving their all. This is Live in Portland, episode 35, and I'm so excited to get this started. Paul, why don't you take it away?
First up tonight, Google stand-up comedy, and you'll literally find this monthly optimist on the map. Please welcome to the Live in Portland stage, Jaron George.
Appreciate it. Hey, how's it going? Hey, clap it up for this show. Clap it up for being here on a Monday night, this classy show. Good. Clap it up for yourselves, yeah. Good. All right, clap it up if you're one of my Lyft customers and you promised to be here tonight because we shared good conversations in the car and we were connecting and understanding good level. No. Linda? We shared recipes. Tyler? We talked about your divorce. I showed no judgment. Okay. That's me. Hey, I smoked some CBD weed, huh? Yeah. I feel so fucking numb. I feel so numb. I don't feel anything, huh? I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. There's something in there. I don't know. I'm a little bit cautious with weed these days. Back from the East Coast, I remember, like, if you showed up with weed and a ball, you're the hero. I remember those days. Here, you're not the hero. Everyone has it. Everyone, if you have it, you're like showing up and you're like, oh, good, Jaren's here. He's late. Come on. Let's pack it up. What you got? What you got? Like, okay, guys, I got sativa. I know it's 2 p.m. Let me pack it up, you know? This guy, Thomas, was like looking over my shoulder. He was just like, hey, Jaren, what's the percentage of the THC you got in that weed? He go like, oh. And I looked at the bottle. I was like, it's 18%. He was like, oh, sorry? I was like, it's 18%! And he was like, oh, Jaren, you could put that away. We got Maui Wowie up here for 30%, all right? We're trying to get high, not feel all right, Jaren. And I was like, you're right. I dumped out the weed. He was right. What kind of time I'm living in. Hey, I'm Jaren George, a.k.a. Black Licorice, a.k.a. a slice of Kit Kat. Just a slice. Just a slice. Hey, just a slice. Yes, I'm a skinny black man, and I'm cold all the time. The goosebumps is coming up right now on my hands, but that's okay. Let me tell you, I was working out today, and like I was trying to bulk up, you know. I'm trying to get those muscles. So I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, damn, my first workout, not bad. I'm gonna take a selfie. So the moment I took a selfie, this is how skinny I am. I took a selfie, and then once I flexed just a little bit, I passed out. Planet Fitness, the employees got to me right away, huh? Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Hey, I'm so skinny. My friends, they won't let me hold their babies. It's a problem. The wingspan, you know, it's not safe. It's not safe. I try, you know. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you. Yeah, UK. You know, my family's from the East Coast. I'm the first one from the West Coast to move out here. And I'm not trying to say I don't get along with my family. I'm like the black sheep of the family. Oh, the white sheep, if that makes sense. An example is that I go to Costco with my uncle to help him with his bulk savings. And there was one time he asked me, like, if he was asking me if I want a music CD. So we went to Costco's Prestige Music department. Walked over, he was like, hey, nephew, I'll get to this Jay-Z album. I was like, oh, no thank you, uncle. He's like, oh, I get it, too much profanity, I get it. How about Will Smith, huh? You want to get jiggy with it? With Will Smith, huh, nephew? I was like, no. And I took all the courage because, like, the stuff I was listening now, I don't think he would agree, but I pointed out the CD, and I was like, I want that one, uncle. And he's like, oh, Dave Matthews Band, Before These Crowded Streets? Okay. So he got that for me and a quiet ride home, you guys, huh? Lasted for many years. Good value. Good value. Good value. Hey, good news. Did you hear about this? Pokemon Go is more popular than Tinder, huh? Did you hear about this? Now, I'm not trying to brag here, but I got some Pikachus and some Charizards up for trade. Ladies! All right. Try again tomorrow. We'll try again tomorrow. Things are going well. I'm getting better with dirty sex talk. I'm getting better with it. First time trying it out back in college. Did not really go well. I was in this interracial relationship. She was white, I was black, and we were getting it on one of these days. And I don't know how that's the punchline every time I explain it. 2018, but okay. Yeah, so we were getting it on. And then she started throwing out the dirty talk. She was like, oh, Jaren, oh, you're like my mocha king. I was like, all right, yeah. Yeah, Jaren, give me that chocolate cake dick. And I was like, okay, all right. You know, we were turning around and everything. And she was like, Jaren, and you? Like it's my turn, like on cue. And I was just like, yeah, baby. You know, chocolate cake dick is on the way. you know? And then she was getting impatient. She was like, no, Jaren, no, talk dirty, racially. And I was like, oh, okay. So like she got me in the moment, but here's the thing, she was like all food related. So like the thing on my feet, so I'm just like, yeah, baby, oh, you're so hot, like egg whites. She sighed and then she dismounted off of me, and then she went to get her clothes, and I was still trying. I was like, where you going, my bowl of mashed potatoes? Where you go? No, where you going, my coconut custard pie? She hesitated at the coconut custard pie. She was like, I should have started off with that. Damn, I was hungry. Told y'all I was bulking up. Yeah. Damn. And here's the thing, like, my mom's about to get married. Is that good? Yeah, that's good, yeah. Now, she didn't announce she's getting married. I just know, like, she's, like, 3 years in, and she's, like, 65. It's gonna happen, you know? Like, it's gonna happen. You know what that means for me? The reason I'm happy is because, like, this is the 5th stepdad tryouts, huh? 5th one, huh? Does he got what it takes? This is my American Idol. I'm Simon. Does he hesitate to go to Hollywood? It's not Hollywood. It's just my blessing. You know, because here's the thing. Like, I get like an extra birthday gift or a Christmas present. You know, like he's proving himself. You know, so I feel like I get something extra. I'm just saying, don't fuck it up like Nick, okay? Nick was the last one, and I wanted a PlayStation 3. You know what this dude got me for my birthday? Freaking dress socks, okay? No. Cliff, don't fuck it up. That's his name, Cliff. This is what I want. For Christmas, I want a Nintendo Switch, and let's talk about 401k plans. I don't know how to. That's stepdad advice right there. You know, don't fuck it up. I'm an after-school instructor, and I realized that kids are nosy. You know, they're really in your business. I'll give you an example. I was tying a second grader's shoes, and like after I tied his shoes, his name is Ethan, so I was like, all right, Ethan, time to go off and play, all right. And he was like, thank you, Mr. G. Oh, Mr. G, I saw you. And I was like, what? Like, just like deadpan tone, like, I saw you. I was like, yeah, buddy, Mr. G's here. Yeah, he's in the school. He's in the house. Mr. G's in the house. What are you talking about? And he's like, no, I saw you at Fred Meyer the other day. And I was like, Fred Meyer? The only one is like across town. That's my Sunday afternoon. That's Mr. G's Sunday afternoon. I want to tell him that. Because it's weird, like, seeing a kid, like from the school at Fred Meyer. One time a kid saw me, and I was like, oh, hey, buddy. I don't even know his name, but I was like, hey, buddy. And I had to look at the parent. I'm just like, I work for the school. Okay, here's my ID, because the parent's gonna ask, like, hey, who's that black man you were talking to, you know? So this kid didn't say hi to me at the supermarket. He was just like, just noting my business, and he was just like, I was like, Ethan, just run along. Yes, I was at Fred Meyer, big deal. And I was about to walk away. He's like, oh, well, you were at the frozen fruit section, and you were just by yourself, and it looked like you were just getting one personal pan frozen pizza. And I was like, buddy, okay, that's enough, all right? And I'm about to walk away, and then he was just like, oh, but Mr. J, I have one more question. Do you always cry in the parking lot before you drive away? You don't know my problems, Ethan. Go along. Like, you know, but I'm doing good. Last thing, I spend the time where I just, like, you know, I try to relax, self-care and all. I've been playing a cool game called Puppy Farm 3. Anyone? Puppy Farm 3? You get to farm adobo puppies on a virtual farm, you know? And I skipped 1 and 2. It was good advertising. So, like, you get to farm these virtual puppies, right? And you get virtual biscuits. So if they don't behave, you give them a virtual biscuit, and, you know, they behave. I ran out of the virtual biscuits. There's in-app purchases. I'm not falling for that. So I thought I could train them without it. Turns out I can't. They were misbehaving, like running all over my virtual bedroom, pissing in the corners. And I was getting stressed out. Because I was like, I don't got time to run a virtual puppy farm now. Are you kidding me? I'm so busy. This is crazy. And I'm going to take off the game off my phone. But before I did that, listen, took off the game off my phone for $10, listen, It was a special for $10 because I didn't want anything to happen to my puppies in the cloud when I'm gone, you know? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if someone's going to take them in. I don't want that on my conscience. So for the $10, because I cared so much for the $10, I got them put down. For the $10, because I didn't want anything to happen. It will be my burden, you guys. My virtual burden, huh? Hey, I'm Jaron George. Have a good night.
Yeah.
I'm saying, okay, all right.
Give it up one more time for Jaron George, everybody. Mr. G with the sensitive soul.
I try, man. I try.
You got to teach me some of that dirty talk.
Did you not hear? Everything transcribed to that, yeah.
Jaron, for my audience at home on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And for my audience here, how can they find you on social media?
I'm on Instagram, Jaron.George. Turns out Jaron's getting popular. Did you know there's an NBA player named Jaron, J-R-E-N? I was up in the rankings, but that's fine. Jaron.George. On Twitter, at Jaron George. Full name without the dot. Still got that down. Yeah.
You're always without the dot to us. Thank you so much, Jaron George. Paul, take it away.
Thank you, Paul. From Big Sky to Chinook, he's landed in the Pacific Northwest to melt your heart with his award-winning vocals. Please welcome Jacob Colzer.
Jacob! Paul, by the way, give it up for Paul, everybody. You've been absolutely amazing. I'm so happy to have you on stage, Mr. Jacob Colzer. We've had so many amazing adventures together. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I love to get outside. And me and this man first met on a 5-day trip down the Rogue River. Give it, Judy, what's up? We love you.
She's out there.
But today we're here to talk about your music. Let's get it started. How did it all develop? Your sound, it's beautiful. Like, I have two images in my head of where and how I want to listen to your music. One is very similar to this room right here, so you guys are all in luck. But you have this smooth, amazing lounge vibe that works so well for an intimate scene. But then your album, it feels like each and every song should fill a stadium. Like, you've got some Elton John-esque vocals. You just lay across the keys in such a beautiful way. Let's talk about your first introduction to music and how this all developed.
Wow, well, thank you. First off, that was a lot of flattery. And I don't know, I guess starting off with music, I think it's, I started off in jazz. So I was a jazz singer growing up. I had a mentorship with two very prominent musicians at the time. One of them was mainly a vocalist. The other one was a singer-songwriter. And they were in a group together. And so I kind of found a niche. I was a little lucky I stumbled into it. Yeah. They kind of brought me up into jazz music in Montana. So it was kind of the guys they were playing with. They're like, hey, you got something going on, you want to do it, you're going to do it. Like, here's some guys that you can play with. You set up the gigs. We'll help you, like, get started, and, like, here's the ball and run with it. So that's kind of, like, how I got into it. But at the same time, they were, like, very honest and nurturing, and would say to me, like, you do realize you'll never, like, make a lot of money at doing this. Like, you may get there, but, like, you got to do it because you love to do it. And, like, that's the first off, like, that's the ground rule. And if you're okay with that, if you're ready to seal the deal, then do it.
Totally. And so you developed your sound in Montana. And I have to, like, preface this. When I first met Jacob, I'm like, damn, that man's handsome. You know, like, he's really good looking.
I think I was saying the same thing about you.
Q6 models, everybody. Q6 models. They're accepting applications. Anyways, so Jacob, terribly handsome, and I'm like, oh, he's probably an asshole. He's probably a jerk. Sweetest man I know. And to make that another third dimension is I listened to your album, Virtue and the Vice, and I'm like, damn, he can sing.
It actually, that trip is, I just released it.
Yeah.
On that trip. I think I gave everyone a download card.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. That's the download cards now. No one listens to actual CDs, so it's all streaming.
Yeah. So well, let's talk about let's talk about your songwriting. Because not only is this music jazz inspired, not only is there a whole lot of, like, soul and energy to it, lyrically, I can follow these songs word for word. What type of zone do you get in? What does your desktop look like when you get into writing your music?
My desktop is very clean. Everything's pushed to, it's like everything against the wall kind of deal. So I'm not one of those, like, things everywhere. But for the most part, my songwriting process comes in many different ways, but it seems to hone in on just sitting down at the piano, playing some things out, and then starting with a simple lyric, maybe humming a melody, and it all kind of comes at once. So I think, like, creativity comes in waves, and I always got into, like, the idea of, like, sitting down and trying to force it, but a lot of times you just got to kind of wait for it to come up. And, you know, when that does come up, you got to take it and run. So there were, like, hours where I just sat down at the piano for, like, maybe 15 minutes in my mind, but then, you know, 3 to 4 hours later, I'm still there writing a song, because once it hits, you got to finish it. Otherwise, it's just, you know, it can drag on for a while. And it will. And, like, it's good that sometimes it'll drag on and you'll revise and such, but I think inspiration and creativity is something that comes in waves, and when it's there, you got to bottle it up and as quickly as you can.
Yeah, and so you moved here from Montana, here to Portland, and you fell into a lot of hobbies, and I think it's where you find a lot of your inspiration. Tell me a bit about that connection, how, like, your lifestyle outside of writing music correlates to your music.
Well, right now, how you know me is a different version of myself than when I wrote that album. So that album I wrote in Montana when I was coming back from music school and finishing up college, and so it was kind of a collective of 4 years worth of writing and, like, picking and choosing. So now I'm, you know, I whitewater kayak and boat, and we took on rafting trips and do a lot of outdoor activity here as well. And I think that's kind of like outdoors is always the place, and we've talked about this, where you can find a little bit of the peace of mind away from the, you know, the hectic daily tasks. And then, so I think that's like a nice place to, you know, conjure up ideas. But I said earlier to you, like, I'm right now working on other material, and I think definitely, like, I needed some space and some time to gain some experiences before I could sit down and start writing about new experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And what I get from your music and your album, first, when I heard it, I was like, this is reminiscent of a time ago, you know? Like, you kind of transport me into a new place when I listen to your music. But at the same time, you're also timeless. Like, your music transcends. And I just want to know, like, some of your inspirations. Where do you find that, you know, that element that makes it conjure up so many emotions?
I think that comes from, I like to listen to a lot of different types of music, but my favorites are some of the, like, Sade and Sting and Michael Jackson and Liz Wright. And so I have a lot of different styles that I enjoy. So when I sit down to play, I definitely want to invoke a different style of music than I normally do. I don't want to always have the same feeling throughout. You know, it's still going to be similar. Everything's connected through me. Yeah. But still trying out different genres, different styles, and being like, what do I want to work on? What do I find inspiring right now? I'll even, like, listen to tunes that I'm like, I want to write something like this right before I sit down and compose. So I think maybe that's where a little bit of the, like, there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
In the music.
Yeah. So you have Virtue and the Vice on Spotify, available for streaming. You're working on new music. What can we expect with the new music? Do you feel like you've entered a new realm, something you want to deliver creatively that is in contrast or maybe in addition to what you've already created?
I think that's a big one. I think, like, the last project, this is actually my second one, and this will be my third. I did a long LP back when I was 17, 18 of my first original songs that I ever wrote. And I kind of just, like, went into a studio, hired some musicians, we played it out, like, very jazz style. So, like, that album, I was, 16, 17. I didn't know what I was writing about. I was writing about, constructs of love, and I hadn't been in love, and of course, like, people were into it. So this last album was, like, a lot more into myself and, like, what I was going through. It's a little bit darker, and now this next version, it's gone through sweeps. I was starting in a very, like, single piano singer kind of vibe, and now I'm building back into, like, a full band kind of setting. So I think that's just the journey. Like, I would love to just, at some point in time, go into a studio and write all the music in one sitting, like, work with a band and, like, have it be that kind of record. But I've always, like, it's been a combination of, years and feelings and all that.
So beautiful, and I'm so excited to introduce your music to our audience here at Secret Society and also at home on Facebook and YouTube. Everybody put your hands together for Jacob Kolger. Jacob, before you leave, how can everybody find you on social media?
It's pretty easy. It's just Jake Kelzer at, it's on the Instagram handles and Facebook. That's where you'll find me. Otherwise, Spotify and iTunes and all those places.
Once again, put your hands together for Jake Kelzer, everybody.
Thanks, Chris.
Paul, you're so on top of it. I love you. Live in Portland is brought to you by Abbey Creek Winery. It's a great story because this originally started with a podcast, the Lost in Portland podcast that did really well, but there was no visuals to it. I'd have one guest on, and we'd talk for an hour, and we'd get really in depth. And this year, I was just like, we got to do something new. We've got to introduce more people. There's just so much going on in Portland that we have to do it in a whole showcase. So Abbey Creek, our podcast sponsor, has become our Live in Portland sponsor, and we could not do this without them. So give your hands up for Abbey Creek Winery. Also, Portland-based Mad Hippie Skincare. They are an all-natural approach to skincare. They've got amazing vitamin C serum, face cream, a cream cleanser that is absolutely amazing. So if you're noticing how young I look, I'm actually 55 years old, everybody. And I've been using Mad Hippie Skincare for the past 5 years, and I absolutely love it. So put your hands together for Mad Hippie Skincare. My next guest means so much to our community, and I'm so excited to introduce him to the stage. But first, I'm going to let Paul do his thing. Go ahead and take it, Paul.
Very, very nice. When he's not fighting for housing from within City Hall, he's winning national leadership awards. Please welcome Portland's own Cupid Alexander.
Man, he made me feel like I was somebody. Y'all
Cupid, draw back your bow.
Third time I heard that today, Chris.
Your
Third time.
arrow flow.
Chris said this was a podcast.
My lover's heart for me. I just wanted to show off. I've been taking vocal lessons.
Y'all gonna clap for that.
Cupid.
What's going on, Chris?
This is long overdue.
Yes, it is.
I'm so excited to bring you to the stage. We've known each other for quite some time.
Yes, Chris beat me for multiple jobs when we were modeling.
Yeah.
That's still a thing.
It's true. It's true. Once again, Q6 model. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Dory.
Johnny in the house.
Right. Cupid, you're a very handsome man, and we have competed.
Ditto, Chris. I'm just feeling that whole vibe in here, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And we've definitely competed for roles, but once again, that's not why I brought you here.
No. We came to talk about housing a little bit.
Remember
that guy from New York who was like, the rent's too damn high, and I was like, that guy's crazy. Now I'm like, where is that guy? Where's that guy at? Y'all remember? You know what I'm talking about. He was like, yeah, I remember that guy.
It's too damn high. Yeah,
right,
I remember.
Right.
Cupid, you are an advisor to the mayor. You are a Portland native.
Yeah, born and raised.
And your focus is on accessible housing in a place where we've known we've had a housing crisis.
Right. But I mean, think about how Portland has developed. So in the mid-'80s, it was like 350, 400,000 people. You all made Portland great. Portlanders make Portland great. The people who come to Portland make Portland great. Portlandia helped a little bit, right? But there has been an influx of individuals moving to this city, and the city is planned not in a way that is accessible for the amount of housing that we're going to need. It's very park-like. That's what drives people to Portland as compared to other cities. So in addressing the needs of Portlanders, we have to relook at how we develop out housing, how we develop out systems, how we do all these things. And some of you, and we won't get too wonky, but there's an urban growth boundary saying, the city of Portland can only extend out to here. Right. So you have all of those things you're juxtaposed versus in order to create housing solutions. So one of the things that I do is I just give, some suggestions, and I look at some of the other suggestions individuals have, and I give that to the mayor. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't know, I had never even been to City Hall before I got the job. I was a kid from 3 blocks up, and I still live 3-ish blocks up, just in case my stalker is anywhere watching the show. 4 ish, right? And when I got there, there's a whole system that you have to understand how to navigate. And I think that that's part of what Portlanders need to understand. But we have a very, very active community, and I think that makes us better for it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, give it up for that, everybody.
Y'all make Portland great.
Cupid, you talk about it like you didn't have ambitions for political just activism. How did you develop into this role?
Oh, man. So other than the rent's too damn high guy, who's just like the dude, like I got a picture of him in my like house, and it's just like his beard and stuff. I'm like, that guy is great. I just saw, like, growing up in North Portland, I wondered why the city was kind of, like, segregated. And I didn't know what, like, redlining was and gentrification. I hadn't heard any of those things. I just saw everyone in the same neighborhood. And I went to school out in Southwest, and I wanted to understand those processes. I was like, well, I don't think everyone wanted to live in the same area. I mean, if they did, that was cool, but it seems like the city is great. And so it was through studying that, I went to grad school a couple times, got a couple grad degrees. And I actually spent some time in Vietnam studying their housing system, too, as a part of my graduate studies, and it just led me there. I worked for HUD. I worked with low-income families on Section 8 for over a decade. So me and Chris are both 55, is what you don't know, right? Skin cream working, bro. Yeah. Thank you for that. You know, I happened to get in contact with someone who was telling me that the current mayor was going to run, and when he actually won, while he was in office, they offered me a position, and I came in, and I just started trying to understand, like, what in the world we were talking about. Because some people look at it like, oh, you got to build these things, and there's other people who are like families saying, like, I don't know if I'm going to make rent this month, and I don't care what you're talking about unless it's helping me to pay my rent. I'm part of those people. I'm like, look, I don't know about all these systems. I'm trying to understand them. But what I'm here for is making sure you're hearing the voices of the people who work every day, who actually make this city great, and making sure that they can stay as we continue to scale up.
Right. And so, put your hands together.
I got y'all.
Ted Wheeler comes into office.
Right.
I mean, you obviously have two different angles on a position, and you come in, and he definitely has his political agenda,
sure.
And he's got duties that he has to uphold.
Right.
Tell me a bit about your relationship.
So my relationship with the mayor is, I mean, he's a very honest person. Like, if you don't know him, it's hard to understand because you only see one side of a person. And everyone in City Hall, how our system is set up, you have a mayor and you have 4 commissioners. And most things you need 3 out of 5 votes to pass anything that has money associated with it. The only difference between the mayor and the commissioners is he assigns the bureau, like who's going to run the police bureau as the commissioner, and he assigns like the budget, and he has to get approval. But other than that, everything else takes 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 4. And so when you don't understand that, you get this view like, why doesn't he just fix it? When you're like, okay, we need 3 out of 5 to fix most things. So his political positioning is similar to mine in the way that he's saying, like, we have to offer Portlanders more housing options when we're talking about housing at every income level, especially those that the market does not address because it just doesn't make them enough money. That's our role. So that's what we're constantly pushing for. But you can't do that alone. You have to have some sort of renter protections in some situations. And so it's a myriad of things. You can't build out of a housing emergency when affordability is related to how much money you make, your economic situation. So there's that part of the conversation too. And we constantly are looking at all of the things that Portlanders bring up to us. I get tons of emails, and I try and respond to them as quickly as possible, but the mayor is very aware of that. So regardless of what your political leanings are, you know, I think he's someone who's shown that he's trying to create at least more housing options for Portlanders or anyone that calls Portland home.
Wow. Wow. Every statement you make needs a clap break, you know?
Nah, y'all. Don't get my head. It's just like me and Chris on the stage just bumping heads.
Cupid. It's important that we talk about bond measures because some of this money is allocated, and once it is allocated, I mean, once it gets to that final process of allocation,
right,
then you have to discover how to pursue that. And,
Right.
and you've developed a few things
Right.
with bond measures as of recent.
Right. So for those of you who voted for Measure 102, which allows the government and like the city to work with other entities to leverage the bond. So before, you had to use all of the money and the government had to own the building. Now, as a result of 102 passing, you can actually go into a deal like with one of you all, and we would be able to figure out who's going to have ownership, but we'd be able to leverage the dollars to get more housing units out of it. So that's a big thing for Portland, and that's a big thing for the state of Oregon. I think we're doing a great job of using the money that we have to not only pay living wage so the people who are building the units don't have to qualify for the units, and sometimes they will, you know, but we're also working with different entities and making sure that we're all of our bond dollars, and you can go to like Portland's housing bond, you'll see how we're investing those dollars to create actual units like right now. So it's a very, very practical thing, and that's one of the things that I think we try to really, really stress is that like, hold us accountable. We're out there where like you guys are paying us to do the work. We're hired guns, or we're hired individuals to get something done for you while you're doing other things that we need you to do, and it's all a cycle, and we're all in it together, and we're using every resource that we have. So yes, the housing bond is big. We're developing it out, and we're ahead of schedule as of right now. But it's I'll say this much: it's not like enough. I'm not going to say like, oh, and so we're there, y'all, like rent, and you're like, no, this dude's crazy. Like the rent too damn high, guys, on his wall. He hasn't listened to that dude. We're still there's still a long ways to go. Portland is going to continue to grow. The region's going to continue to grow, and it's because of rooms like this and places like this, people want to be here. So we're trying to prepare for that.
Absolutely. And we are here to support our community, our entertainment, and, you know, be there for one another. I think one of the most important things about this show was to get everybody in a room so that they could exchange eyes with one another and actually interact. So now that we know of you and the work that we do, how do we get involved?
So the first thing you do, I mean, support local, right? Like, this is a great start. There was a couple musicians before, beautiful. I see you right there. I shed a tear on the inside. Yeah. Like, just one single tear, y'all, just came down, and I was like, not today. No. My mom said, don't do that, right? But coming to things like this, being involved in your local community, you can definitely always go testify at City Hall, and you can just sign up for that, because the more voices that they hear, the more relevant it makes it to the individuals that represent you. I say that's, and voting, like as much as you think it doesn't matter, it does matter. It's so like if you're able to vote, definitely vote. And I think that that's kind of like in our representative democracy, that's one of the most important things. Showing up, voting, supporting local, being involved in your community, and, of course, coming to stuff like this. So,
I'm loving this interview, and I know we probably should have cut it like 2 minutes short, but I just enjoy speaking with you so much. Portland native. It's now November 12th, 2018. What do you want to see as Portland grows and develops?
Man, so that's a good question. So what I hold as a value for like Portland, and I think what we share like with the mayor, is like what makes Portland great. It's an industrious spirit of the individuals who are here to be creative, to be inclusive, to be understanding. We don't always agree, but we give the space for that agreement safely. Right? So I think that that's what I want to continue to see Portland as. We were talking about, earlier they were saying Portland is weird, and I think the weird thing about Portland is that we continue to remain ourselves while growing. And I think that that's why people are moving here, and I think that the people will continue to move here because of that one thing. And that one thing is the spirit of Portland, and I think that we have to hold that as our value. And as we continue to grow, holding that as our value, we will continue to be who we are, and we won't get lost. There's a mayor out of New Orleans, really quick story. His name is Mitch Landry, right? Mitch Landry, they were taking down the Confederate statues. And they were like, well, why are you taking down the Confederate statues? And he was saying, think of all the things that make New Orleans, New Orleans. It's like gumbo. It's like all the indentured people from all the different countries, the French, the Creole. You think of Second Line. You think of jazz. All these things were put into a pot. And you know New Orleans for that. These statues make someone feel excluded that helped make New Orleans what it is. So that's why I'm taking it down. And I say that, like, we continue doing all of the things that make Portland, Portland. We hold on to that, and we just scale up. This is one of the things.
Absolutely beautiful. Give it up for the spirit of Portland. Not the boat, but the energy. Cupid Alexander, for everybody engaged right now, how do they get a hold of you and how do they keep in touch?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, Q Alexander, C-U-E Alexander, and then I'm on Twitter, Cupid Alexander. That's it.
Beautiful. Everybody give it up for Cupid Alexander. Paul, you are fantastic. We are 35 shows in, and a lot of you know Lost in Portland. This is live in Portland. The whole goal of this was to create a network, hopefully a 24-hour network. Think back to like MTV when it was cool. I think there's so many... right? I think there's so many amazing creative artists here in Portland, and I want to showcase that. And through that, we've developed a few shows. And so, with no further ado, we're going to introduce a show on our live feed, Haley Lynn, Truth or Fire. Here it goes.
Hello, you guys, and welcome to Truth or Fire. Now today, I have a special guest. We have Dennis for today's episode, and we also have the El Jefe wings from Fire on the Mountain. Yeah. All right, so let's get some fiery questions going. For every question you don't answer, you eat a hot wing. And I will join in solidarity. All right, so let's get these questions going. Dennis.
Haley.
All right, so what's the riskiest place you've ever had sex?
Got that one ready.
All right.
That would be on top of Sugarloaf Mountain in Denali, Alaska, because of bears and stuff.
Whoa, okay, well, cool. Next question. Best skinny dipping spot in Portland?
I, unfortunately, have not gone skinny dipping in Portland.
All right.
That means I haven't gone skinny dipping yet in Portland.
Yes. What's a secret that you wouldn't want your mom to know?
I'm gonna eat a wing.
That would join in solidarity. Cheers.
Mm-hmm. You got this. You're welcome, Mom. Once you get in there, though, it burns.
It burns. All right. Next question.
One wing down.
What is a story about you that you wouldn't want your significant other to find out about?
I have no shame. So that's pretty tough, but it probably have something to do with butt stuff in some way or another.
Okay. Elaborate, though. Can you think of a story you wouldn't want your significant other to know? Okay. It's like a slow burn.
Then a Russia burn.
What is the most smelly thing you've ever smelled?
Smallest thing I've ever smelled. Well, I grew up on a pig farm.
Okay.
So probably that.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the...
Feel the tears coming.
What's the longest... What's the longest fart you've ever... longest fart you've ever farted and why?
Probably... I think I've gone like a solid 3 to 4 seconds, you know?
And you know why?
It's probably a chili. I'm gonna say a chili.
Did you vote?
Yes.
In 2016?
In 2016, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Cheers to wings.
Cheers. And that's today's episode of Truth or Fire. Back to you, Chris Franklin.
Thank you, Paul. Let's hear it again for Paul Pereza. So for all of our in-studio audience members, go ahead and check out on YouTube the Lost in Portland channel, live in Portland for tonight to see the latest episode of Fire on the Mountain. Or, sorry, Truth or Fire, brought to you by Fire on the Mountain, where you are challenged by Haley Lynn to either taste the hottest hot sauce from Fire on the Mountain or tell the truth. So, it just depends which is more painful. Coming up next, empirically proven to be one of the funniest people in Portland, Oregon, please welcome the fly-ass comedian, Kate Murphy!
Hi, everybody. How we doing? Good. That's great. What's up, Paul? How are you? Good. I've noticed nobody asked you that. That's awesome. Yeah. Just wanted to check in. We're old buds, right? I've never met him before. So you guys digging the weather? You digging this darkness, the no sun? Just me? No, some of you. It's my power season. You can see me, right? Like until they make SPF lead paint. Like I don't go outside. Like I get burnt walking around inside Fred Meyer. It's fine. Man, this past summer, my brother, he recently purchased and continues to ride an electric unicycle. It's not the joke, but thank you for laughing. It is funny. We're in a constant debate because he won't wear a helmet. And I'm like, that's a very dangerous vehicle. You need to wear a helmet. And this is his logic about his electric unicycle. He's like, I don't want to wear a helmet. I'll look stupid. You're right, that joke doesn't land the same since you guys are all like paying to ride a scooter home. It's weird. Y'all look stupid. It's amazing. Y'all look so dumb. Oh my God. I live with my brother. He is really dumb. You have one of those, Paul? A brother? Yeah, they're real stupid, right? They're the worst. I don't even know how to make this a joke. This isn't even a joke. Like I just like caught him microwaving a block of ramen. Like no water, just like hope. I don't know. Just like science. I don't know what he was doing. This is actually what he was doing. And again, I don't. How do I make this a thing? I just saw it. He was microwaving a block of ramen with a piece of cheese on top of it. And then I watched him pull it out of the microwave, open the seasoning packet, sprinkle it on top of the melted cheese, and then he picked it up and ate it like a cookie. And I just think about it every fucking day that I saw that. How old do you think he is, Paul Guest? Just well, based on the information, how old do you think my brother is? 30, that's right. Good guess. That's exactly how old he is. That's amazing. That was too close of a guess. You're like, what do I eat? It's like, I eat the same way. It's insane. It's in the family, I think. Oh, man. He is so stupid, though. We were watching a film together. We'd seen it before, but it was this art film. And he turned to me in the middle of this scene, and he was like, oh, my God, this scene is so beautiful and urethral. I was like, are we watching the same movie? I was like, urethral? I was like, I think the word you're thinking of is ethereal. He's like, yeah, urethral. And I was like, those are not the same word. Those are not the same word. In fact, there's a vast difference between those two words. Oh, my God. I hate that joke. I hate it so much. I went to college. Oh, man. It's so stupid. Just out here trying to deal with the fact that my boobs don't match. I don't know. Weird. People usually clap in solidarity. You're fine. You guys are great. Apparently it's normal, right? They're not, I don't know why I'm pointing at you, ma'am, but it's like, right, you get it. They're not supposed to be exactly the same, right? Like sisters, not twins or something like that. Oh. Mine are unrelated, not even the same family. I don't even know how they got here. if these are twins, like this is Danny DeVito and this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Like they're just, one's got a lot of muscle, the other one's like weirdly hairy. It's a whole thing. It's like, they're just, one of them is like so normal looking. Like it's awesome. One of them's just nipple where it's supposed to be, optimistic as fuck all day long, just standing at attention. And then this one's just kind of staring off into the distance, you know, just kind of like flapping in the wind over here, you know. This is the one in the mirror every morning that's like, well, at least you have a personality, you know, just kind of like over here. Separately, if you saw them one by one, they totally look like normal boobs, but when you squeeze them together, this whole middle section turns into this very like, it's like a lazy-eyed kind of like Steve Buscemi face, right? It's like very specific. Very sexy in its visual authenticity. You guys think Steve Buscemi's hot, isn't he? I think he's cute. I grew up with a pug. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I just want to clean those wrinkles with a Q-tip. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm out here dating. It's great. Again, people usually clap. It's so fine. Man, I'm just looking for a dude over the age of 30 with a bed frame. Can't find one in the city of Portland. Turns out, can't find a man over the age of 30 with a bed frame. A guy asked me if a box spring counts. I was like, get it off the floor. Like, I can't bring my standards any lower. It's great. I'm on Tinder, just like everybody else. You guys on Tinder? Seen you on Tinder. Yeah, I know. I love when nobody answers because I'm like, I swipe left for you. It's great. Like, I saw you. I'm on it for the first time. I'm super late to it. I actually had no idea. It's just picture after picture of one tiny little hiker on top of a mountain. Actually, it's just the same little, so tiny. He's all the way up there. And I can't even see what he looks like. In the bio, it always says something dumb like, looking for a wife. I know. I'm like, you're not going to find one up there. Like, what are you doing up there? Get down from there. Guys send me questions, right? That's how they break these, the icebreaker messages. They think if they ask a question, they'll trick me into replying somehow. It's great. This guy's icebreaker message to me, this is the first message he sent me. He was like, hey, beautiful, if you were any planet in the solar system, what planet would you be? And I was like, Jupiter, because I got a weird spot named Dangerously Gassy. I don't know what you want me to say. Stupid question. We had sex. It's fine. It's fine. That's what it's for. Oh, man. Gosh. I don't know. Are you guys sticking it to the man, fighting the patriarchy every day? All of you? Yep. Me too. I don't shave. Again, people usually stand and clap at that one. I don't shave anything, right? Feminism. Breaking those beauty standards. Mostly laziness. Two birds. Two birds, one bush. Oh, my God, joke. It's like... we have to find ways to empower ourselves, right? It's hard out there. Did you guys know that? It's hard to be a woman. It's like we're out there, and I empower myself. I feel strongest as a woman, empowered, when I'm watching a dude try and fish one of my pubes off his tongue. Have you ever seen a person try to do that? Some of you are laughing. Some of you are pretending like you've never stopped during a hike to pick a rock out of your shoe. I don't know what the difference is. One's got a better view. It's the hike. I don't know. This is completely out of control, though. I will admit that I've let it get out of control because I work at a breakfast restaurant. I work at a cafe. I don't know if you can tell from the bangs, but I'm a barista. And I was at work the other day wearing some high-waisted jeans, not unlike these ones, but I found out that my fly was down when I felt my own pubes on my arm as it brushed by. Just a tickle, just a guard dog peeking through the fence or whatever. I don't know. Then I ate some floor bacon and thought about my job. You guys know when you go to brunch and you drop bacon on the floor? We eat it. I don't know if you know that. By we, I mean comedians. I got 8 doing this. Anyway. Yeah, I think that went fine. Right, Paul? Yeah? Yeah, it was good to see you. I really missed you. It's been a great time. Thank you. You're very talented. Everybody give it up for Paul. One more time. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Can I be done? Can I be done? Okay. Thank you so much. My name is Kate Murphy. I have to stay up here?
Yeah.
No. Oh, no.
Give it up for Kate Murphy, everybody. I think Steve Buscemi is oddly attractive.
You do?
I'm not available. I got a baby coming in January. Kate Murphy for my audience here. And my audience at home on YouTube and Facebook. Where can they find you on the interwebs?
On the internet, you can find me Instagram, on Facebook. I'm just like there. Kate Murphy. I don't know. KateMurphy.com. I don't own that. Just see what's there. We'll find out. Oh, man. Kate-Murphy.com. There's also nothing there, but I do own that one. I don't know. I'm on Twitter.
I just want to make this more awkward than it could be.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I thought it's like we're both. Kate Murphy's, that's my Twitter handle. I don't tweet very often.
Dope. Everybody put your hands together for Kate Murphy. Thank you so much. Paul, take it away. Whew. Paul, you make me feel things. Make me feel things. Our show is coming up to a close. We're going to wrap up with an amazing performance from Jake, who was on the stage earlier. But once again, Lost in Portland, we're developing shows. And one show that I'm super honored to have on our network, it really exemplifies who we are and what we bring to the world. A lot of my time is spent in the outdoors, and I get a lot of my inspiration as a creative artist from the outdoors, and also the creator of this next show. You could see her directing the show. She also produces her own show, Annalise Cleopatra with Masterpiece with Annalise.
Hi Portland, welcome to Masterpiece with Annalise for November 12th, 2018. It's been a while since we've last talked. There's been so much going on. There was a full moon, there was a meteor shower, there was a new moon this weekend. But it's okay, because there's another meteor shower this weekend. The Leonids will radiate from Leo, but can be seen anywhere in the sky. It's an average meteor shower producing about 10 to 20 meteors per hour. So make sure you guys find a place without light pollution to go watch. I'll either be at Stubbs Stewart or Rooster Rock. Hope to see you there. This weekend at the farmer's market, we saw the last of the hot peppers go. We got rid of some eggplants, and now all that's really left are the salads, brassicas, and your overwintering veggies like winter squash. So make sure you guys get some of those before the first frost. And lastly, as we say goodbye to our beautiful fall leaves, those of you with this houseplant will know it's blooming. Christmas cactuses are ready, they're happy, they're singing. Say hello, pick some up, and back to Chris at Live in Portland.
once again, from Big Sky Country to the Beaver State, please welcome back Jacob Colzer.
Hello. I just want to say big thanks to Chris for having us play tonight. He's awesome. I got to see this show, I think the first time it was aired here, and so it's really an honor to come back and get to play for y'all. I'm missing a drummer, but I think he's coming around the bend. Does anyone want to take it? So, just going to set up here real quick. So this first song comes off of my album right now called Virtue and the Vice. This one's called You Got Away. Not much to tell you about it other than I was really digging George Michael at the time, and so I stole a little bit of a father figure, teacher, preacher line. So tell me if you can spy it in there.
I feel a change coming, wild as the wind. Oh yeah, now pick me up, lay me down softly in the sweetest city. A beautiful distraction, yeah, 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 like a goddess in disguise. My little piece of heaven falling from the sky. Whisper your desire, say my name, wrap yourself around the first game, and nothing will ever be the same. You got away. I'll treat you like a masterpiece, father figure, preacher, teach, and tell me that you never ever leave. Don't ever leave. Something about you
Thank you. I'm going to take a second just to introduce the guys behind me. Starting over here on bass, this is Stephen Fisk. He's an amazing producer, and I think he also has a YouTube channel and other ways of finding him, so check him out. Go talk to him after the show. He's got a studio that we work out of, and I'm really super grateful to have met him and Anton. So over here, this is Anton Fuller, playing the drums, keeping the heartbeat going. I actually met Anton. I worked at a brewery. This is part of the Portland thing. I worked at Alameda Brew House when I first moved here, and it's no longer there. No, there's one fan. And he was working at the pizza place just down the street, and he happened to be in one night, and we started talking about music, and I was like, I'm looking for a band to play with, and then I got this guy as part of the package deal, so that was a couple years ago, but it's pretty awesome, the place we live in, and being able to find that on the street. This next one is also on that album. This one's called Easy, and it's just about realizing that you can't take the easy way out of things, and sometimes you just got to commit.
Oh, my baby, you're like a breath of air. You fill me up inside when there's nothing there. And my honey, you're so sweet, oh yeah. No one else around can knock me off my feet. And it would be so easy to just let you go. Watch me walk away down an open road. Be so easy to leave you standing there, pretend that I never cared about you. But I've taken the easy way out. Too many times I drew the first blood. I found the blood was mine. Everybody knows I run, I will run again. Me, you will never win, and it will be so easy. But you make it so hard. Look what you do to me. You got me saying things that I don't want to see. And I'm a bad man, and bad men don't deserve all the beauty that comes from a loving girl. And it would be so easy to just let you go. Watch me walk away down an open road. Be so easy to leave you standing there, pretend that I never cared about you. But I've taken the easy way out. Too many times I drew the first blood. I found the blood was mine. And everybody knows I run, I will run again. Me, you will never win. And it will be so easy. walk by. And easy to say that it's not real, that I don't feel the way you feel. But I've taken these away too many times. I drew the first blood. On the mama's mind, everybody knows that I run, and I will run again. But you will always win. It's easy, but you made it so hard.
Thank you.
Keep those hands together for Jake Culture, everybody. Jake, thank you so much for blessing us with that. Thank you to your band for coming to this stage and showcasing the beautiful work that you create. For my audience at home and my audience here, how can they find your music?
Same places, just Jake Kelzer. You can find it on Instagram, on Facebook, or Spotify, iTunes, and keep a lookout because we're working on some new stuff and excited to release that eventually.
One more time for Jake Kelzer, everybody. This is episode 35 of Live in Portland, and I can't reiterate this enough. Our city has so much spirit, has so much to deliver to this world, and sometimes it can get foggy with what's going on in the world. But we have an internal compass, and that's called gratitude, and it lives amongst us. So when you go out, this is Monday, take this energy out into your week. Support your friends, support your loved ones, support a stranger. It's nothing without us. So everybody, put your hands together. This is Live in Portland, episode 35. We are out. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check us out online at Facebook/Lost in Portland. That's Lost, the letter N, Portland.